The very first shot, the actual plate that was shot was very minimal. It's only the containers in the gate. The rest of it's all matte painted in CG. The overall scale from when we got the original plates, it looked very enclosed and very small. The foreground building, the guard tower where the Cylon's standing, that's all CG. We used HDRI to light it. Holding that close to camera looks very photoreal. Very little of it is matte painted in the foreground. It's all CG. Just the background. Some of the ships are put in there, and we're using stills. Jeremy did some matte painting work on the background too as well, but the foreground all CG and all a full 3D render. The next sequence, the jump sequence, was really quite exciting for us to work on. We looked at a lot of footage from, old space capsules entering the atmosphere. That was the easy part of the shot. They wanted the heat distortion and the buildup of the heat on the bottom of the Battlestar, but they also wanted to be in stress to make the shot more dynamic. So we had little panels kicking off, adding a little bit more into the camera movement, like a little more shake on top of what they did. But what made this kind of fun was we've established before through the series that when they jump out, it's a very quick effect. But Gary Hutzel, the visual effects supervisor, he wanted all the dynamics of the fire and the smoke to sort of remain and kind of get swirled up. So it made it quite a dynamic shot, and it made it really quite interesting. So we did that in combination of 3D and 2D, using some particle dynamics and stuff. This shot we're looking at next is where the tower gets hit and explodes. That shot is a full 3D shot. All the debris that kicks out of the back, most of that's 3D. So that's all done with particles. So it ends up being really quite a dynamic shot. A lot of the elements that we get or we have in our library, they're directional coming from the ground up, but because it's coming from the side, the debris has to drop a frame, as opposed to if you were to take an element of an explosion of like dirt that goes up in the air, it's going to drop straight down, which obviously would not work for the shot. So it's something we had to do with particles to get the direction of the particles to drop properly, and also the timing, because the bullet hits at a precise time, and sometimes you get some stepping with elements when you try to time warp them. So this allows us to have a really nice fluid explosion and dust debris kicking out the back. I mean, it is a combination of practical and 3D, but it's really the 3D element of the debris kicking out the back that really sells the shot. This was really our first shot at doing a really big space battle sequence for Battlestar Galactica. Pretty much every element, every Viper, in this case, every Raider, the Battlestar, base stars, were not just done with a single render right out of the box. Each element has maybe 20, 30 layers. For example, for the Pegasus, just for the raw render, we'll have like an ambient occlusion layer, an RGB layer, interactive lighting pass, a lighting pass. This is just for one base element. We have to have all those variances, all those elements in for each piece of the shot. For an average shot, we probably had over 100 layers. So shot management is very important, because if you say that, we have hundreds of layers per shot, and you times that by 30 shots, I mean, you can do the math and find out how many layers the render farm has to chew through, and to actually just generally manage the render layers. What was really exciting about this is our really first opportunity to do a really big, really dynamic sequence. And I personally haven't seen anything sort of to this scale done before. So that obviously appealed to everybody here.